Nishaanza kurekodi.
Tunaweza anza.
Ngoja kwanza nitoke.
Okay. Hey. But it won't be so bad. Because we're good conversationalists. Okay, now we can start. Dancing. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Start. Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's episode. And you can see I have a surprise. I have my dad with me. Yeah, Dad, you want to introduce yourself?
Well, thanks Gigi for bringing me on the show. It's a real pleasure to be here with you guys, and hopefully we're going to be able to learn from Gigi's experience. And if even one person is going to be helped by listening to this interview that we're going to have, then she will have attained the purpose for which she started this. Thank you.
Yeah, so Dad, we're going to talk about many things. Fatherhood, how you feel raising us. You've been a dad for 25 years, but if you count Angel and Days, it's even more than that.
Yeah.
So there's also a lot of things we have to learn from you, and other fathers can learn from you. Hopefully. So everyone is always so... the first question people always ask me is how you reacted or how you felt when I told you I was pregnant. And outwardly, your reaction was very calm, but I've never asked you what you really felt in that moment.
Okay, now that's a tough one. Actually, it really isn't very difficult because, yes, there's a calm exterior. Internally, of course, there must have been shock. So shock was the initial reaction, but then I went back into every experience we've had with you guys, bringing you guys up, and I said, well, this is still my daughter, the jewel in my crown, and she's still, she's still Gigi, and the only thing I can do now is to support her. It's already, I felt it would probably already be a pretty difficult thing for you to even have to tell me, and the only way I could make it easier is by not adding any more pressure on you. So it really was not a difficult decision to make. I had no doubt. The only thing we could do is to support you.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what happened, because at that time I was so scared. I don't know if I told you or I've ever told you that my plan was that if you guys react badly, I was going to run away to Tanzania. Because I was like, no one knows me in Tanzania. I can go start my life afresh. I don't know why Tanzania seems easy, but that was my plan. But when I spoke to you that day, I remember you were at a church meeting. You guys, my dad was a deacon at the time, so you can imagine the pressure. So I remember leaving there feeling so grounded and confident, and like someone has my back. Because other than Jamila and Boina, you're the only other one who's supportive. So I actually came running to you, like looking for solace, and I was glad I found that in you. But before then, did you have any expectations of me, any different expectations of me at that time?
Well, of course, parents have expectations about their children. I used to pray for you guys, and I used to tell you guys I wanted to be people of impact, to be a blessing to yourself, to your family, to your county, to your city, to your country, and to the church. Okay, so all those are expectations. There's expectations in all of those, success in how we define it. And yes, this is not probably what one envisions when you think about, the progression, especially in the family side. But then, now that it was upon us,
and I was 19 at that time.
Yes, then well, make the most of it. So that was my approach. And you guys, of course, you know that I have a rather laid back, almost, it may look casual to other people, but yeah, so I have a kind of a confidence in you guys. So I am not moved, even when
Yeah,
you
that's
do
true.
go a little off what I expect, because I know, well, you're young, and one man act does not make a man mad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so essentially that's my attitude with all you guys, not just you.
Yeah, not just me.
Yes.
And did you feel at any point like were you scared for me? You know how parents are like, oh yeah, I'm so scared for my child. Will they make it? How is this experience going to change you?
Honestly, not scared, because I know you guys have the standard stuff in you. So I was not scared. I was probably apprehensive.
Yeah.
How's this going to turn out? But there's no fear, because I know you've been raised well, and you have been a shining light even in the family. You've done great things for yourself. You've shown a good example to the younger guys. So I knew, okay, it's a difficult challenge, but I instinctively knew that you had what it takes to handle what you're dealing with. So I had no fear.
And
That's an honest answer.
yeah, and that right now, so many parents are going through the same thing. Like, we've seen the numbers on the TV, and I don't
Yes.
even think that these are new numbers. It's
No.
just that things have come down. So now everything that was beneath the surface is coming out. And there's so many parents in your position,
Yeah.
but not very many of them react the way you did for me. Because I felt like one of the things that broke my heart the most is that, you know how when you grow up, you always want to make your parent proud.
Yes.
And I was so sad that probably I'd let you down, and that was what was weighing on me the heaviest.
The heaviest, yeah.
And I remember a big relief for me was how you kept on reassuring me that, you know, I've already forgiven you, and so has God. And I just like, it's not even that I'm forgiving you now. Do you remember that message you sent me?
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, where were you getting? Because I'm looking and I'm thinking, gosh, it must have been. And I was like, where did you get? Where were you drawing from? Where were you drawing?
Where did I draw from? There's a grounding that comes from probably reading the Word of God. There's personal experiences, because I mean, I am where you were, you know, probably, and if I look through my own experiences, I probably would have done a lot worse than you guys did. So the fact that I knew that this is a path that people walk through, and the understanding that I had, that I'd had the good fortune of spending a lot of time with you guys, and in a sense understanding the way you guys appreciate life, then I knew you weren't doing it to spite anyone, or to make a point, or, you know, to just, you know, throw a spanner in the works. And well, accidents happen. People make decisions, and some of them work for them and some don't. And I try to look at it like that, and said, people have done worse. Yeah, by our own way of judging, you know, which is the bigger problem or mistake, and the lighter one. People have done worse. Yeah, and they've lived and they've made great lives for themselves. So really, I have no doubt.
And I remember when I was trying to hide and not come to church, and you're just like, Gigi, these people are sinning in secret. It's just that no one can see it. It's just like yours is visible. So just like, yeah, come to church with us and, you know, do stuff with us. And that really, I don't know, like I look at myself right now with Imora, And I feel like I have so much more grace for her and for other people because of the grace that was extended to me. You know how you always want to pay a kind deed forward?
Yes.
Like, even now when I think about it, you know, parents are taking the approach for now, we have to punish you so you can know that you made a mistake.
And make an example of you.
Yeah, but I feel like the biggest transformer is just love and kindness.
Well, actually it is. And when parents react, shall we say, in a negative manner, a lot of times it's not a reflection on the child, it's a reflection of the parents' own fears, because there may sometimes be a sense of inadequacy if, for example, a parent were absent, then they think, could it be that I left this person alone? And sometimes we project that. Sometimes, yes, we want to live vicariously through our children, and therefore we want them to attain the things we never did, and we think this is a bump in the road, and we may come out like that. But essentially, the only thing that a parent can do, or in my view, at such a time, is just to encourage the child or their child to get through the situation. And it is not just getting through, to actually support them and be there. It isn't enough to just say, endelea tu tutakuona. No, be there as much as you can in as natural a fashion as possible. So don't change. I don't think I changed my demeanor too much. Hopefully not. I was myself and trying to contain it in my own way. Dealing with it. Yeah.
That's true. So now we are going to talk about like the role of fatherhood. What do you feel like the role of fathers is, especially because you've been a dad for a very long time, enough years, and that I don't feel like the men in our generation really know what it means. Like, even when they abscond their duties to their children, I don't feel like they have the foresight and look at the consequences it will have on them and of their children. And I don't know if you have anything you can say about that, any thoughts?
The father is a product of his childhood. And a lot of times, because the only way we model our fatherhood is on what we experience. Our relationships with our own parents play a very big role. So it works either way. Sometimes you had a very good father who was very involved, and sometimes it may come out as overbearing, and subconsciously you find such a person draws back. Another one may have had a distant father and felt, I could have probably done better with a more involved parent, and that shapes you. So part of my parenting is based on my experiences with my own father, and the greater part of it, which is intentional, which I acquired over time, is that I made a decision and I said, look here, I've got wonderful children. If I never get anything else, I have the best gift on earth. So I enjoyed spending time with you guys. That's it. And it didn't have to be fancy. You can just, and I'm not much of a storyteller, you guys know that. I'll basically just be in the house and listening to you guys and, you know, stop that. But just having you guys around and that,
you are very
commotion,
very available.
Yes, just to be there, because my role, the way I understand it, is just to be your number one cheerleader. That's it.
And I feel like you've been that for me. You guys, up until university, my dad used to come for my swimming competition. And those things used to mean so much to me, because I remember even when I was younger, when I was still in primary school and I was really deep into the swimming, I could hear you talking to your friends about me swimming, and I just feel like, hey, I'm that chick, and you guys that used to fuel me so much, and I feel so much of my confidence right now is a spillover from everything you invested at that time. Because remember when I was doing tennis, you'd play tennis with us to practice, and I was doing swimming. I remember you used to come downstairs to the pool to tell me, show me what you learned this week in school, and I don't know, Dad. I really appreciate it. Because, you know, people are like, oh, Gigi, you're so confident. Sometimes I don't feel it, but I feel like the affirmation in my abilities that happened when I was younger.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm glad I had this opportunity to spend with you and with all the other guys.
Yeah.
And of course, you made fatherhood easy for me because in my book, the only good child is the child who follows my instructions. You guys didn't test me too much, so you made it very easy for me, and it was easy that way then to form a relationship in a sense with each one of you
and
at your own terms.
And we're really open with you. You guys, at that time, New Year's, December 31st, my family was headed to church, but on their way to church, I asked them to drop me at an event. I don't know if you remember that, Dad, at the club. Yeah, and the thing is, you didn't, like, of course, everyone else was going to church, but you didn't try to impose. And I felt like those are the things that just shape our relationship. Now I feel open. You know, I never used to sneak out to go to the clubs, guys. I tell my dad if he says no, well, it's a no. If it's a yes, then it's a yes. He knew all my friends. We spent Christmas together.
Yes.
Yeah, my friends fondly call you Baba Gigi.
Yes.
Yeah, so I really enjoy that aspect of our relationship. And then, is there anything you wish you did differently? Not just for me. I have 4 siblings. I have 4 siblings. I'm the first of 5, so I have 4 siblings. But is there anything you wish you did differently with us, even Daisy and Angel?
Well, for the older guys, maybe I could have been a lot more patient. I could have listened a lot more, but maybe also the vigor of youth.
Yeah, you were quite young.
Yeah. So, over time, maybe I like to believe maybe I've mellowed a little bit, and I'm more accommodating of, you know, contrary opinions and stuff like that, which essentially I think are the flashpoints when people come up with alternative viewpoints, and I think, no, I've been through it, I know it all. But now I've discovered sadly that, well, I really don't know it all. So I'm willing to accept different viewpoints. I don't know if that makes me more of a whip as a father, but I still like to believe that I've set the general course, and so long as everyone is within you know, within the lanes, then well,
yeah, because that you can be really Kali. I felt like you stopped being Kali when I was much older. And I also feel like maybe even that part of the Kali is that you had so much responsibility and you were also really young. How old was I? When I was 10, you were 35, and you had me, Daisy, Angel at the time. So yeah, I think we grow older and we also realize our parents are just humans, especially now that I'm a mom. And I don't know if I asked you, or I was speaking about it with someone else, and I was just like, where did Dad used to get the energy to play with us and do stuff with us?
Maybe I'm just a freak.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm so exhausted. Like, you want to say, Mommy, do this, Mommy, do this. Yeah, but I think now that I'm a parent, I appreciate what you, even Mom, did for us guys better. Do you see yourself in me? And if you do, what do you see?
Yes, I do actually. Strict off the bat. You're very strict.
Yeah.
You're very strict, and you like to be in charge. essentially you like to drive the agenda, which was probably my failing then. I was kind of in everybody's face. Yeah.
Which my siblings call bossy. My siblings call me bossy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yes. So I concede. Yeah.
And stubborn.
Oh, terribly stubborn, because that had to do with my dad especially, and even my mom. I mean, they were very strong-willed people, both of them.
Yeah, let's not call it stubborn, let's call it strong-willed.
They were strong-willed people, and when they made a decision, not even an elephant could take them off their chosen course. So a lot of that came to me, and probably with the benefit of education and exposure,
Humans, especially now that I'm a mom. And I don't know if I asked you, or I was speaking about it with someone else, and I was just like, why did Dad used to get the energy to play with us and do stuff with us?
Maybe I'm just afraid.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm so exhausted. Like, you want to say this, Mommy, do this, Mommy, do this. Yeah, but I think now that I'm a parent, I appreciate what you, even Mom, did for us guys better. Do you see yourself in me? And if you do, what do you see?
Yes, I do actually. Strict off the bat. You're very strict.
Yeah.
You're very strict, and you like to be in charge. Essentially, you like to drive the agenda, which was probably my failing then. I was kind of in everybody's face. Yeah.
Which my siblings call bossy. My siblings call me bossy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yes. So I concede. Yeah.
And stubborn.
Oh, terribly stubborn, because that had to do with my dad especially, and even my mom. I mean, they were very strong-willed people, both of them.
Yeah, let's not call it stubborn, let's call it strong-willed.
They were strong-willed people, and when they made a decision, not even an elephant could take them off their chosen course. So a lot of that came to me, and probably with the benefit of education and exposure, hopefully I'm able to kind of moderate those influences.
Because I'm also trying to learn how to, how to take other opinions, like not to be so rigid that I'm not allowing myself to learn new things. And I'm glad that, what I'm doing in school is helping me do that. And let's see what else we have in here. Who is God to you?
God is security, God is love, God is a provider, God is a companion when you want it to be. God is, he's the center of everything. I don't know if there's any better way to put it than that. He's the center of everything.
So
the anchor.
The anchor. When, as I've been going through my spiritual journey, I remember especially when I found out I was pregnant with Imora, I wasn't very deeply rooted, but as I progressed in my pregnancy, and even after that, is when I started beginning to understand my relationship with God and who God is. And I don't know if it's just for us girls or for everyone else, I feel like who I relate to God as has been influenced greatly by you.
Well,
as a father, because for me, first before everything, God is a father. And even now, when I felt like I was at my lowest, when no one could love me, and I felt that overwhelming love for you and your kindness and your grace, my mind started opening up, and I'm like, this is my earthly father
Yes.
who has faults,
Yeah.
who's not perfect. So I was just like, how much more my father in heaven? And I don't know if many parents realize that their relationship with their children is also the way that their children will react to God. Because, you know, when we read the Bible, God is referred to as a parent.
Yes.
But how you relate with your parent on earth is what you're going to project.
Yes.
To
Probably a lot of times we parent by default. So a lot of the things we do are not very intentional, but at some point, probably a little after you guys, you and Tamia and Angel and Daisy, I probably learned a few things and I got a lot more intentional. And you've heard me tell the kids to affirm them. I tell them, you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and of this my heart knows very well.
yes.
And then after that I tell them, and if someone says, oh yeah, tell them, oh yes indeed. How do you know? Because my Father on earth says so, and my Father in heaven says it, and that settles it. If your Father says it, and your Father in heaven stamps on it, settled.
Yeah.
And that gives them the confidence that they have backing. Here, physical, up there, spiritual. Then, of course, hopefully that makes them a lot more confident in whatever undertakings. Yeah.
And what was your father like? What was Papa like to you? Are there things you learned from him?
The guys of that age were probably different because they had different upbringing, probably, and different experiences. He was Jekyll and Hyde. He was a charming man, fun-loving.
Big afro.
Yeah, big afro, yeah. Really charming guy. He loved to travel and take us along. But also, he probably found it hard to open himself up to us. So he was almost the stereotypical mzee of that time. He was fairly distant from us. He would come out of that shell and there'd be a flash of light for a day or two, and then he'd be missing in action for probably a month or two. So mixed emotions. There are mixed emotions there. I learned from him, taking pride in one's achievements, because he was very proud about how he handled his work.
Yeah.
And he was proud to be a trendsetter, and he was proud to have bought a big home in Nairobi when not many people had one, and all that kind of stuff. And there are other things which he could have done better, how he handled his relationships with us. But, well, he probably didn't know any better. That is what they were modeled on at that time. Yeah, that's what fatherhood was to them at that time.
Okay, okay, Dad. And Mama? Let's talk about Mama a little bit. Mama is my grandma.
Mama, what can I say? I think she was a little bit, not even a little bit, I think she was 2 or 3 generations ahead of her time in her parenting.
Yeah.
Because I learned that I could not argue, because she wouldn't brook argument, but you could present an alternative viewpoint to her and she'd have the grace to listen. She was accommodating, and yet she was very tough with us. And then, because she had the benefit of education and exposure, the way in which she handled us also, she was a lot more confident, and she learned very early on how to affirm us. And because of the gaps probably where Papa was not available, then instinctively, I think it was instinctively, she stepped in to fill that, and she would encourage us to do things, go out, and that's why I played hockey, I played tennis, I rode bikes, I did rugby and stuff. And yes, when I wanted to go out, I could count on her, tell her, Mom, I want to go out, and she'd arrange for me to go out. So,
A chauffeur?
no, she'd actually, this probably shouldn't go in camera, but if I was not going too far off, I could actually borrow her car and go down.
Did you guys almost have an accident? Was it you and one of your brothers?
Well, Uncle Dennis and I had an accident, but that we were going on a shopping run, and we rolled down a steep embankment, and, and it was in slow motion, but that is an experience for me.
I feel like you learn. I feel like you parent us. Like hearing you speak about how Mama raised you, I feel like you raise us a lot like that.
Yes.
And one of the skills I've learned is to present my arguments respectfully.
Yes.
And that I think you've realized that out of all your children, I'm the one who always feels like I want to voice my opinion.
Yes.
You guys, I like to voice my opinion and say what I want to say. But that I remember there's a time you told me, then if you're not going to say it respectfully, don't say it at all.
Yes, it's true, and
I was just like, how could you tell me that? But that's what I always have.
Yeah.
Like your argument or whatever you're saying loses so much weight when you express yourself in a way that's not respectful.
Yes.
So I really like that you learned those things from Mama, and us guys are learning them from me and from Papa as well.
Yes.
We love that you learned from what they did right, and also what they didn't do as well as you hoped they would.
Yes.
How do you feel watching me parent Imora? You were actually there in the thick of things when I was trying to figure out going back to school when Imora was about 5-6 months old. How was that? How's that for you?
Look, you're doing a great job. And really, there isn't much more to it than that. I think you've learned from us, you've learned from probably your peers, you've learned from book knowledge, and you're doing the very best you can. And that's all that matters. Yes.
Do you feel like you have done your best as a parent?
Well, there's always room for improvement, so I could have done better, but I have no regrets about how I've come, because I probably didn't know any better. So I could have done better, but with the benefit of hindsight.
Yeah, but you only knew what you knew back then. You didn't know what you didn't know.
That's all I had.
That's fair. What's your greatest achievement?
My greatest achievement, it has to be my brood of 5 big bundles of energy.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
for me, the kids and how you guys behave, the joy you bring into the home.
Especially when we're all together.
Yes.
We have such a good time.
Yeah, there could be nothing more precious.
Our relationships with you and with each other are so unique. I think even us kids have a relationship outside of you guys. We have such a good time as just us.
Yes.
And I just love that
and
we
it's
have
healthy,
that.
and it's
healthy.
And it's necessary.
It's necessary.
As well.
Yeah, and even as the firstborn man, I have amazing siblings.
Yeah.
They make it very easy and enjoyable. Man, we're just amazing. We're amazing. Dad, what's your greatest fear?
Fear. You guys know very well. I really don't do fear. But if ever I had a fear, it's just that you guys don't reach your full potential. That's it.
How do you feel
I
like
want
we're
the
doing
best.
so far?
I mean, I'm just waiting to be, to be pleasantly surprised. Already I'm very happy, and I know there's yet more. I ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, the way you keep on commenting on my posts, just know that Brand Randiak comment is my dad.
Yeah.
So you better respect yourselves in my comment section. Yeah. Are you proud of yourself?
Let me say this. I think if one of my greater failings is that I have probably a bloated self-image. Yeah. So, well, I do kind of feel that I've done pretty well for
You
myself.
have, Dad.
Yeah.
Even
pretty
us
well.
kids are really proud of you.
Yeah.
But that's because they're your kids. You know, to your children, you're always going to be like,
Yeah, you dare
wow,
not
my
say-
parent is so
Yeah,
amazing.
you dare not say anything different.
How does it feel to be a grandpa, Dad?
It's fun.
It's
I-
fun.
It's fun. A little bit of a mystery. You wonder, oh, this little child.
Yeah, it's just like, Papa this, Papa
it takes
that.
some getting used to, being called Papa. But it's fun. It's fun, and of course, she's also yet another bundle of energy. Yeah, and so full of life and laughter and joy and love. It's a wonderful feeling.
I feel like her and Kwe are actually getting the best of you. Kwe is my youngest sister,
Yes.
and they really enjoy what
Yes.
they have with you. And to even Imora, you've been a father figure to her. And
they're doing their best to run.
they're doing their best.
Yeah.
Those kids are so disrespectful. I feel like if we did the same things they do to you. But that, one of my fondest memories, and I can't forget. Oops, there's a thing else. I was saying one of my fondest memories growing up is how you used to come back home from work and us guys would be waiting by the seat to jump on you, and you'd randomly bring us flowers. And there's a guy who used to bring nyama. I don't know if it was every Thursday or Friday. What else do we used to do? Make custard and have it with bananas.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember those things.
You have got to thank for having a sweet tooth.
Yes, we ate a lot of sweets. I still eat a lot of sweets. I think you stopped.
I stopped.
You've been trying to
Well,
stop.
I've cut down.
Yeah,
I
but
cut down.
yeah, the rest of us have.
Yeah.
We all have a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
And now I've come to the end of my questions for you.
Oh.
Do you have any questions for me?
Oh, wow. Okay, this one. I
didn't see it coming.
I didn't see this one coming. Being the eldest child, what have been your experiences with us or with me? And are there things? What do you think I could do better as a parent?
Being an elder sibling comes with a lot of pressure, not even from you as my parents, but it's just there. You already feel such an overwhelming sense of responsibility because all your siblings look up to you. Me, my siblings look up to me. They're like, they look at me and they're like, everything that Gigi does is just wow. Yeah, I want to do what Gigi does. So I find myself being very, very cautious about what I do, but I enjoy it. What about you?
What do you think I could probably do better?
Emotional availability. I feel like me and you I feel like I started becoming more open with you emotionally during the time of my pregnancy. I don't know about the rest, but I think it's a fear that was usually there, that you won't get what's going on with us guys emotionally. So if there's something, probably I'd say you could, foster more, especially with the younger guys, is emotionally being available for them, like open. And for girls, we like to hear verbal reassurance, because you can see you making the sacrifices, but it means so much when you come out and say, you know what, I love you and I'm very proud of you. And I know Taz is a lot like me, so those words would mean a lot to her,
Yes.
to hear them come from you.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't think that there's anything else. Oh yeah, Dad, you're really scary. To the people outside our home, they fear you.
So I should not be so scary.
No, you should. We like that.
Oh,
We like that. Like, there's that sense of protection, because everyone's like, oh, it's Mama Gigi, Mama Gigi, and everyone acts right.
Okay.
But it's a good thing. It's a
Okay.
good thing.
Okay. Wow. That's strange. Okay. Okay.
Any other questions?
I guess this is your show, so I'm going to step
Okay.
stage right.
Yeah, so that was me and my dad. This has been a wonderful conversation, Dad. Thank you for having it with me. Tomorrow is Father's Day, but when you're watching this, it's going to be yesterday for you guys.
Okay.
And I just feel very privileged to have an available father, someone who I can talk to and someone who I know I can depend on fully. And I hope you all celebrated your fathers in different ways. If you have any comments, any questions that you'd also want me to follow up with my dad, you can ask. And for you fathers out there, I hope you've learned something from a veteran dad of many girls and a boy. So, Dad, thank you so much for being on the show. I hope I have you soon. My dad is really smart. He knows things about business. What else did you know about? Things that you can teach people.
That's a curveball. Well, I'll be happy to help where I can, with the little that I've been able to glean from my experiences.
Yeah, my dad is good with advice and he's a good teacher. So if you feel like you have any questions that only a dad can answer, you can ask me and I'll ask him and I'll have him back on, and that hopefully I can start a platform for you to do your own Uncle Brian / Mama Gigi things.
Well, yeah. Let's keep that slate open.
Yes.
Okay.
So thank you, Dad.
Thank you.
Have an amazing week. Leave your comments and remember to share widely. See you in the next episode.
Thank you guys for watching, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks, Dad.
Bye.